most successful of that group, possibly earning a hefty new contract by season's end in the process. But being the starting quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys is hefty in itself. Our Ed Werder spoke with two men who ought to know, Roger Staubach and Troy Aikman, and one who wants to know, Tony Romo.
Tony Romo is going to be a championship quarterback for the Cowboys, and the sky's the limit for him.
I think he's a tremendous talent. He's going to be the quarterback here for a long time.
He is going to be as good a quarterback as the Cowboys have had.
Troy Aikman said it once, and I thought he hit it on the head. If you play well with this team, it's such a neat club and to be a part of, and a neat little fraternity, I guess, with some of these legends of the game.
Tony Romo is working to prove that one day number 9 might deserve a place between number 8 and number 12 in the legacy of Dallas Cowboys quarterbacks. Roger Staubach's daring style in the 1970s made the position into something transcendent. With his 2 Super Bowl victories, it gained iconic status. Continuing the tradition, Troy Aikman's unfailing accuracy stacked 3 more Super Bowl titles atop that.
I'm glad I got drafted by Dallas, and I'm glad we had the success that we had. And I can't imagine having had even the same amount of success in another NFL city and having it be the same.
I became part of other people's lives because being the Cowboy quarterback, and it was a lot of pressure, but it was good pressure, and there's a lot on a Cowboy quarterback.
What's it like being a quarterback in Dallas when the team is winning?
I mean, it's the greatest thing in the world. I literally would not leave my house during the weeks that we lost. You just didn't want to be seen. And I know that this town, their heartbeat comes from how the Cowboys do on Sundays. And so a lot of my mood swings would be dependent upon whether or not we won or lost, because it would determine whether or not I was going to have groceries for the week and could get to the store.
I can walk around normally. You know, it's a little bit less now. Now I think I get recognized when I go out a little bit, but I just look like your average Joe, so I'm usually okay most of the time.
Just beginning his career, Romo's celebrity is already out the door.
Got a message for you. Production meeting, 2 o'clock.
He's already doing commercial endorsements.
60 stretch, 4.
But during the offseason, Romo was criticized for pursuing celebrity just a little too hard. Not only did he judge the Miss Universe pageant, but his relationship with Carrie Underwood created speculation and landed him in the tabloids when he escorted her to the Country Music Awards.
How did you guys meet?
Well, he sent word that he wanted to say hey sometime.
Was that a low moment in Cowboys quarterback history when you were reduced to purse holder at the CMAs?
You know, yeah, I don't know. You know, I was just there to help. You know, I'm a secondary character in those situations. It was a fun time. It was a great experience.
Romo recently sought advice from Aikman on how he should handle his growing status.
You're going to be asked to do a lot of things. You're going to be asked to do a lot of interviews. And just because they ask doesn't mean you have to give it to them.
The thing that people don't realize is that I turn down 95% of things that I come up. But, you know, once in a great while when something comes up that seems fun, you know, hey, if I got nothing going on, I'll go do it.
I was offered to do quite a few things. Some of them I did. Miss Universe, I don't remember being offered to do that. But you know, I wasn't single either.
For me, someone who wasn't that interested in doing a lot of those different things and probably didn't take advantage of all the things that I could have, I still did a fair amount. I mean, I cut 2 memorable country albums. Lord knows I wish I could have those back.
Well, Emmett, you certainly knew quite well with Troy, and Coach, you certainly knew Roger, and everybody feels like they know those guys. Emmett, what's it like to be a star for a team that wears the star on the helmet?
You know, to be a star for a team that wears a star on the helmet, Troy Aikman probably got a lot of attention in Dallas and was probably the man, if not the biggest star in Dallas during our era. There was a time when Troy came home after a ball game one night and walked into his house. He was that big of a star where some couple ladies were found in his pool swimming because they wanted to be in Troy Aikman's swimming pool. They had ordered pizza and everything. Troy quickly called the cops, got them out of the pool, and they was all shipped out. And so when you're a star in Dallas, people want to get so close to you, they just want to feel, be a part of your life, some kind of way, shape, or form.
And I like Tony Romo, but the only great thing I think he's off to right now is getting a huge fat contract from the Dallas Cowboys. when you think about pro athletes, the word great is used way too often. I mean, there's pros, there's superstars, there's stars. I think he's at a level right now where he's a star. He's an above-average quarterback. He's only played 13 games. Let's not put him in the iconic status of a Roger Staubach or a Troy Aikman or Peyton Manning or Tom Brady. Not just yet. Give it time. Let him play 110 games. He's not quite there yet.
Well, I tell you what I like about him. I like the way he slips and slides, you know, at the quarterback position. And when he avoids the rush, he doesn't try to run with the football. He's looking downfield to throw it. That's the best thing I see him doing. I love it.
So does he have a chance to be a outstanding player for the Cowboys?
Boom, I think he's got everything in front of him. He's got a good supporting cast. You know, I think that his offensive line, you know, you talk XO, they love him because he doesn't make them make every block. But the thing I love about him is his attitude. And what I mean by that, you heard Steve Young compare him to Brett Favre. He's not afraid to make a mistake. I think that's the beginning of being successful at the quarterback position. I can't go out, Rex Grossman, and be afraid to make a mistake because I might lose my job. Tony Romo right now playing very loose, free-spirited football, but he's got a lot of talent, and that's what makes him have the potential to be great.
But, Tom, his legacy right now, as it stands to this day, is the fumble snap last year in Seattle.
Got to win some Super Bowls.
Until he wins a Super Bowl, he won't be considered like a Troy Aikman or Roger Staubach. He would always be compared to the legends of Dallas, Texas, and the Dallas Cowboys.
But he has a chance to wipe that under the rug.
What happened to Dandy Don?
Huh?
What happened to Dandy Don?
Dandy Don?
We left
lives
him out.
quiet.
What was Dandy Don? That's
Dandy Don Meredith was a fine player.
That's your era.
my
That's your era.
George Blanda played with TJ.
Maybe Mort can uncover that. Mort, Dandy, Tony Romo, what's up with that?
Well, listen, he makes $1.5 million this year. As you know, he's a free agent at the end of the season. There's nothing imminent going on between him and the club as far as a new contract. 14th start. I think if he gets to his 16th start, basically a season's worth, I think talks will heat up between Jerry Jones, the owner, and his agents, Ken Kramer and Tom Condon. The thing about it is, hey, if they don't get him signed, I really believe ultimately this guy will get more than $30 million guaranteed money, which is what Jamarcus Russell got as the top pick in this year's draft. Not bad for an undrafted free agent from Eastern Illinois, Boom.
No, not bad. And the reason that Brett Favre is interesting, Reddy grew up watching Favre in Wisconsin. Favre is hero, like for so many. All right, who's our hero? More game picks now. We're sprinkling them out through the show. Eagles at Giants Sunday Night Football, both 1 and 2.
I was really impressed with the Eagles last week. I got to go with the Eagles. I know.
Philadelphia Eagles and Donovan McNabb.
I'm picking the Giants. I'm not sure exactly why. Eli's having a great year. I'm picking the Giants.
I'm picking the Giants because I'm riding with Eli.
I'm picking the Eagles because they can erase and go to 2.
Yeah, just because. You don't need to explain that. Yeah.
Picking the Eagles. Just a guess, Tom. Seahawks at the 49ers. This is an interesting game now.
The 49ers are going to play these guys good. I like their defense, and I really believe Frank Gore's going to get off. They're going to win the game.
I like the Seahawks. I like the Seahawks.
Seahawks have the maturity. And Hasselbeck, I think, is going to have an outstanding day. So that's.
I agree. The Seahawks have the maturity. They also have a balanced attack. I'm not sure if Sean Alexander is going to have a great game.
Really?
No, I'm not sure he's going to have a great game.
He will after watching this show. The 49ers are for real, and Seattle knows it. Last year when they were swept by the 49ers, they won the division anyway. This year, they've been focusing on this game. I think Seattle gets a tight win at Candlestick. It's a tough game. I had to pick that, huh? Steelers at the Cardinals.
Well, I really like what they're doing out in Arizona, but no way. No, they're going to win this football game. That defense is going to be all over those guys.
Pittsburgh Steelers, because Mike Tomlin is definitely going to show the Pittsburgh fans why they passed over Russ Grimm and Ken Wisenhunt.
I couldn't believe that the Steelers, if anything, are almost tougher football team under Mike Tomlin, and they were already one of the toughest in the history of football. Pittsburgh Steelers.
Running game is too strong. Balance there. Roethlisberger. And like Coach Mike, like they said, if you don't get to him early, you get to Roethlisberger early, he will get comfortable in the pocket and make the right throws.
He's been very comfortable this year. A game closer than expected. No Hines Ward today. But Pittsburgh in a close game, go 4-0. All right, we'll do more picks in a while. Back to the Windy City we go, though, where everyone has weighed in on the Bears quarterback situation since, well, the Super Bowl. Certainly this year after their 1-2 start. I mean, you don't have to be related to George Halas to be a Chicagoan with a passionate opinion on this. That includes our youngest contributor, Jason Krause.
Does this jersey make me look too short to play in the NFL? Does it scream interception?
Sets the throw. It's overthrown and intercepted.
Brian Griese will be our starting quarterback this week against Detroit.
Sweet! I really should have done this a long time ago. Such a quick change. I had to make my own greasy jersey. As you can see, it's still a work in progress. You know, my teachers always tell me about peer pressure and not to give in to it. You gotta give that Lovie Smith credit. He didn't listen to anybody.
Rex is our quarterback. Rex is our quarterback. Rex Grossman is our quarterback.
A lot of people said he sounded like a broken record. You know, I think my parents still have some of those.
Grossman takes up the throw, picked off by Henry.
So Rex, after throwing how many interceptions? It's time to sit, my friend. I guess the moral of the story is if you play bad, you eventually get put in a timeout. This has been Jason Krause, taking it to the house.
Wow. He looks like Rex Grossman.
Exactly.
Wow, doesn't he?
That is Rex
Exactly.
Grossman.
How does it feel to have a kid talk
Yeah,
about
man. Well, Rex will have his chance again. Can't get enough countdown. Can't get your daily fix with IBM Countdown Online. Get daily news updates, game breakdowns, video at ESPN.com. Meanwhile, the chase for the cup continues. 1 p.m. on ABC. Could Jeff Gordon hold a slim lead in the point standings? The LifeLock 400 from Kansas City. That's an ABC at the top of the hour. When we're done, we'll be back.
He was the best of 2006, but he looks baffled in 2007. Can LT turn it around before it's too late? Plus, will Champ Bailey and Dre Bly finally put a stop to Peyton's Denver dominance? Plus, one more run around the stadiums with Brett Favre on the brink of history. And no other show picks all the games. We've got more game picks. Chiefs or Chargers, Broncos or Colts, and the game breakers of Week 4 revealed. All next. Visit the all-new Game Center section on NFL.com for video previews of this week's games.
Last week on The Contender, the blue team scored a much-needed victory. Now, they have the power of choice in the next two fights as the pressure rises with the semifinals looming. An all-new Contender, Tuesday at 10 p.m. on ESPN.
What's your strategy?
We have to play the very first day. We do? Yes.
Monopoly at McDonald's returns October 2nd.
I'm going to use my Egg McMuffin method. It involves eggs and McMuffins.
I rotate from one McDonald's to the other, counterclockwise.
With almost $200 million in cash and prizes. So whatever your strategy.
I rub Ron's head for luck.
Can I get some of that?
Yeah, get in there.
Get ready. October 2nd is coming soon. Christy won $50 grand, but she's not telling how.
Introducing the revolutionary Kuro. The few, the proud, the Marines.
And then the handsome captain shouted, "I will ask Princess Annie to marry me."
You work for Altel, right?
Yeah, Chad.
I've been making a lot of calls lately, and I want to change my plan, but my wireless company makes me extend my contract.
At Alto, you can change your plan at any time without extending your contract.
thinking about leaving us?
Yeah.
I wouldn't if you ever want to see Fluffy again.
But that's not my dog.
Fluffy, abort! Hey!
Anytime plan changes, only from Alltel. Take the challenge, switch today, and get a great deal on this LG phone.
Come and get your love.
Now on DVD.
Welcome to New York, Mr. Jackson.
The team.
I'm not joining the Yankees to become a star. I'm bringing my star with me.
The turmoil.
I'll manage how I want to manage! He works for me, and I tell him what to do!
The triumph.
Oh, let's go!
A 3-disc special edition with over 2 hours of bonus features.
It never entered my mind that he was showing me up.
It was Reggie versus Billy versus me.
I won 2 pennies for the man, and I'm still fighting for my job.
The Bronx is burning. Available now.
You are watching Sunday NFL Countdown, presented by IBM.
I think a quarterback can be the glue to the city.
You're the one making a lot of calls. You're the one making decisions. You have 10 other guys looking to you on every play.
He has to be able to stand up and take it upon himself to get the team out of a difficult situation.
You have to count on 10 other guys, just like they have to count on you.
The quarterback represents so much more.
Oh, yes, the Super Bowl champion Indianapolis Colts. Remember them? Well, they barely remember them at the RCA Dome because that opening Thursday night, God, that was a long time ago. Since then, the Colts registered road division wins at Tennessee and at Houston. Before you say, hey, those were close games, think about this. There are 8 AFC teams with winning records. 4 of them are in the AFC South. So a road division win is precious. Today, Denver comes in at 2-1. Even though it was pre-Jay Cutler, Mike Shanahan and the veterans well remember their last couple of journeys to Hoosier country.
Throws downfield, Marvin's got it, touchdown! And the Colts with a 31-point lead over the Denver Broncos.
In his first postseason win ever, Peyton Manning threw for 377 yards and 5 touchdowns as the Colts trounced the Broncos 41-10.
And who's the MVP? You better believe it. Peyton Manning's 4th touchdown pass.
In the 2004 postseason, Manning threw 4 touchdowns and 458 yards, the second most passing yards in NFL postseason history, in a 49-24 Colts rout.
Short ox! Richmond, Florida, Buffalo!
And just last season, in Week 8, Manning continued his dominance over the Broncos, throwing for 345 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Reggie Wayne's 3rd of the day, and the Colts take the lead.
On the Colts' final possession, Manning drove the team 62 yards in 8 plays to set up a game-winning 37-yard field goal.
Adams' kick is on the way. It looks good. It is. The Colts lead with 2 seconds left.
Thanks, Boom. Let me ask Tom this. Can the Broncos pull the upset, Tom?
Well, I think they have a chance to pull the upset, Coach.
Well, they're not going to pull any upset, and I'll tell you why. Joseph Adai, you want to talk Reggie Wayne, Marvin Harrison, Gonzalez, Clark. Pick your poison, because exactly what the quarterback's going to do. He's going to pick the poison.
Well, the Broncos put up plenty of yards. I think the problem with them right now is a young quarterback trying to figure out how to get the ball into the end zone. That's an offensive point. Defensively, they can't stop the run. When Mike Shanahan went for 4th and 5 from his own 9, just over 4 minutes left in the game, he knew he couldn't get the football back. If they can stop the run, I think they got a chance to win. But it's never fun playing the world champs in their own backyard, Boom.
You know what, Tom? To me, and I say this in a positive way, the Broncos in an identity crisis. They're going away from their roots, the 6, the 8-yard, 9-yard smash football running. They're intrigued by what Cutler brings and by how much he can stretch the field. But as they turn their axis on offense, they're still kind of finding themselves, and their 2 wins were at the last second, as you know. Meanwhile, a guy that has no trouble finding his roots or finding the end zone with 420 career touchdown passes, breaking it down by quarter. What do we often say? The great teams score right before the half. Well, that would assess Brett Favre pretty well. 136 touchdown passes ended the second quarter. Rachel Nichols, a late word from Green Bay.
If Brett Favre breaks the touchdown record today, the NFL has given the teams permission to temporarily stop the game. The Vikings even have a Dan Marino tribute video ready for the Jumbotron, although one official told me they'll only run it if it's early enough that it doesn't feel disloyal to their own fans. There's also some Hall of Fame people here today, and just a few minutes ago, I asked Brett whether he was going to give them the ball. He was Brett. He said, "The only thing I've thought about so far is winning." Now let's go to Ed Werder in Dallas.
Here outside the Cowboys dressing room, spoke to Greg Ellis as he warmed up for his first Cowboys game since tearing his Achilles last November. He said he's a little bit apprehensive, but mostly excited about returning to the field. He'll start by playing in nickel pass rush situations, but will play some in the base defense. Boomer, back to you.
All right, Ed, thank you very much. Now, the San Diego Chargers. Last year, of course, they went 14-2. After 3 games this year, they've already lost as many games. Well documented as all that change in lightning bolt land. Today they try to change back into their old selves at the Murph against AFC West foe Kansas City, also 1-2. Part of San Diego's early malaise has been a defense that's been far from authoritative. But today they could get healthy against a team that's averaged 9 points a game and might turn in mid-game on offense from veteran quarterback Damon Heward to youngster Brody Croyle. But it's the puzzling Bolts offense that's still the headliner here. ESPN.com's Greg Garber reports it begins and ends with LT.